light cuts through the room, shadows stretch like the weight of doom. Wood shavings fall like whispers lost. Hammer strike echoes wide, dreams buried deep inside. Soldier's hand, carving time, building lives from broken lines. Soldier's hand, soldiers fight in the grave.
Good afternoon and welcome to Soldier Farms. Today I'm in the workshop. I'm going to take another attempt at power carving. I have drawn, let me turn the, and I'll show you. I have drawn a little gnome on the this piece of furring strip. Okay, so let's get into it. I start by doing the bottom of the brim of the hat, which is also the brow line, and then I start taking down the corners. But this furring strip is starting to disintegrate even as I carve. There are large chips of it just popping off. So I keep working down the corners and then working on the cheeks and moving around and trying to bring the material down evenly as I go. But pine is I've not been successful with pine any of the times that I've tried to do this. So we're working on bringing down material and rounding off the cheeks, and I can definitely see where this is easier if you have piece of wood that is round already, a piece of a log or a branch, or even, I've seen them do corners of like a 4x4 and then, work off one of the corners, and that already provides some relief. So changing bits from the flame burr to the taper and getting ready to put some more definite lines. As you carve, a lot of times you have to draw the lines back on, or make things more defined. And this started to go bad relatively soon after I started carving, and so I just started working on the nose. I think maybe I should have started with the taper burr and put in my lines and then switch to the flame burr. And alright, so I'm working it down. My nose is better this time than it's been any of the times. But the mouth needs work, and I left it a little high, thinking I would go back and work on that a little later. Alright, so I'm working around the eyes, and these are okay eyes. They're not great eyes. You can definitely see why a lot of carvers just, make the hint of the eye, and that's the most difficult part for me. If eyes are the wind or the soul, then these are definitely. Alrighty, so after a half hour of carving time, let's take a... This is my first carving effort. Tried to carve a gnome. I don't think I got very far. And the eyes were terrible. This is what I got. the day that I carved with Delan's homemade or handmade, Delan's handmade woodworking. And then this is an improvement in some ways and just terrible in others. So tell me which one is the best and which one is the worst in the comments. And I don't think this guy stands. He's more of a leaner. Alright, so now I'm going to bring you over to the lathe. And I'm going to try to turn an ornament. Take you off of one tripod, put you on another. There you go. You're on a merry-go-round. Alright, so I've got this little piece of oak here. It's a piece of an oak 4x4. It's a little bit bigger than 4x4. This was a runner from the bottom of a pallet from my hardwood store where I buy most of my material. It just seemed like it took forever to turn this thing down to round. It's the first time I've worked red oak, and oak is an animal all its own, or at least in my opinion. There are pieces of this that were kind of punky. It's a very dry piece of wood. So I'm turning it around, and then on the end of the spur center, there's a piece that was broken out of, off, and so, I had to work around that to get down to where we could work the whole piece of wood. And once I got it round, I started tapering down one end, trying to decide what I was going to make. And then I kind of decided on kind of an old-fashioned Christmas ornament, and just started going from there. And working the one end, trying to get beyond that little break, and tapering, rounding on over both ends. It was a lot of fun, and it's very relaxing. We're getting somewhere now. So I got it nice and round, and just working it down, and don't think I had my tool rest set just right, because we're I'd go along, and then I'd get a catch, and go along and would catch again. So I kept trying to find the best spot for the tool. All right. So it's starting to take shape, and trying to decide what I'm actually going to do and how the ornament's going to come out. Step away for a moment, and then right back to it. Right now it kind of looks like some sort of funky mushroom. I'm just working on tapering that down and trying to find the best way to do it. Now I'm working on cleaning it up. This is an enjoyable process. I still have a lot to learn with turning, but it's very enjoyable. Try to have another day where I can turn with Jeff from 2 Minute Tips for Wood Turners, which if you turn or if you don't turn and you would like to learn, Jeff is an excellent person to watch. He has tons of experience over years, and he can teach and or diagnose problems that you are having and tell you how to fix those. So I'm sanding, cleaning up this ornament. Showing you there that there are a few places where it chipped out. Most likely that's because the tool got caught. And when you have a catch, it's usually, in my opinion, or in my experience, limited as it might be, that it's poor tool handling. There you go. Alrighty. Alright. So here is our ornament. Need to do a little sanding cleanup from where we parted off. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with our ornament. Far more pleased with this than I was the gnome that we made. So let me grab some sandpaper. And I've just got this old piece of 150 grit. Don't want the oak to split because we spent all this time making the ornament. So here it is. Thank you for watching. So, wow. That's terrible. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you either at my Wednesday night live at 5:45 p.m. Eastern or in the next video. Thank you.
Dusty light cuts through the room. Shadows stretch like the weight of doom.